Welcome to Rearview Diaries. I'm your host, Paul. This is a little bonus chapter about how we choose to be happy. What is happiness? And I could definitely tell you that for me, being happy is something I choose to do. When I get up in the morning, I tell myself today's going to be a wonderful day and it's going to be a happy day. So how this leads on to my my next story is that I had a passenger that came in. For the first 3-4 minutes, he did not even crack a smile. He just sat there looking pretty, unhappy. Then he looked at me and he goes, "How can you be smiling all day? You're just constantly smiling as you drive and look around." And then at that moment, I told him, "Because I'm happy, sir." And he goes, "You're just driving a rideshare." And at that moment, I told him, "Sir, I drive a rideshare because I choose to drive a rideshare. I'm happy because I choose to be happy." In our lives, we all have a choice. We have a choice to be nice. We have a choice to be mean. And I told him for me, every day, every moment, my choice is to be happy and good because it really makes me feel good as a human being, as a friend, as a family, and as somebody that shares a space. And he goes, "How do you do that?" I go, "Sir, why don't you just tell yourself, I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy because people around you are going to notice. Why don't you say it 5 times quickly? I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy. And I choose to be happy." So the gentleman proceeded to do that. And by the 4th time he said it, he cracked a smile. So I go, "Oh, I caught you smiling." And then he starts smiling again. He goes, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that." I go, "It's simple, sir." We try to complicate things that are pretty simple. And so I heard this from a friend of mine. One of the issues about people is that we try to simplify complicated things and we try to complicate simple things. And being happy is rather simple. So we start talking about my life, and then I told him that I was a makeup artist for the movie and television industry. And he goes, "Wow, why are you driving a rideshare?" Well, I told him, "Sir, because this is a great way for me to interact with random strangers, make new friends, and also, give a little piece of me, which entails kindness." And I told him, smile is the first act of kindness. So look, I think in just the last few minutes, you probably cracked like 3 or 4 smiles. Don't you feel a little better? And he goes, "You're right. I do feel much more relieved and I do feel a little bit better." So, and then we proceed about, I go, "I bet you your family and people around you will notice a difference if you smile and you show a kindness or energy." And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Sir, you got to start now. Every moment we just don't know what's going to happen to us the next second or even tomorrow." So he started to smile, and he goes, "God, I get it. I have this very high power lawyer, and sometimes, I get my work caught, it just catches me." And I said, "That's why we need to learn how to separate our work and our personal life, because that will make you more happy." So we started to drive and we get closer to his house, and then he goes, "I choose to be happy. I'm going to make people around me happy." And I go, "Wow, you added another sentence." And he started to smile again. And then we got out and he goes, "Can I just shake your hand?" So I shook his hand, and he tells me, "Thank you so much for enlightening me. This has been one of the best rides." So after he got out of the car, I realized, we all have a choice as a person to be happy, to be mean, or to be angry. And for me, every time I think about it, happiness is my first choice. So next time when you get up in the morning, think about it. Do I choose to be happy, or do I choose to be mean or unhappy? So choose happy every single time. Anyway, thank you for listening to the story. Until the next ride.